Hello and welcome to the Legends of Tabletop podcast. We're going to be doing our post NecronomiCon 2022 show today. I have a couple of awesome guests with me. I'll let them introduce. I'll start next to me with Chris.
Hello, I'm Chris. I attended NecronomiCon for the first time this year after watching everybody talk about it excitedly in 2019 and regretting that I hadn't worked up the nerve yet to do so. And I ran some games and went to panels, and John invited me on. So, hello, everyone.
And Chris is iPwned on the MU Discord for anybody who's following around later on.
And good friends and modern mythos.
all
the podcasts.
And that lovely voice that you heard is Bridget.
Hi everyone. My name is Bridget Jeffries of Symphony Entertainment, which is kind of like my tabletop role-playing game hub of all things horror tabletop gaming related. NecronomiCon 2022 was also my very first year, and it wasn't that I had to work up the nerve. I just needed to work up the knowledge base to even know that this con existed. So it wasn't until I started working with the Miskatonic University podcast. They're like, oh my God, NecronomiCon is like the best con. It walks on water. It's the best thing ever. And I'm like, what? Where is it? Y'all are going to Rhode Island for a con? Really? Y'all are excited about it? Wait, it only happens every 2 years? Okay. I mean, I guess. Am I not cool if I don't go? Which is how I ended up there this year.
Nice. And last but not least,
Hi, I'm Oscar Rios.
He's so excited.
Author, game designer, publisher, Annie Award-winning guy. I was a guest at NecronomiCon this year. I haven't gone to any of the ancient Necronomicons, but I was there in 13, 15, 19, and 22. I missed 17 due to severe burnout, and everyone thought I was either getting divorced or dying of cancer because I wasn't there. So I'm like, oh, I can't miss any of these again, which says a lot about our community. You know, this is where we get together. This is where we get to see each other. And Bridget, that's why everyone was saying, I mean, could you throw a dead cat in Providence without hitting a Cthulhu nerd that weekend?
Nope, we surely could not
take over the goddamn town. It's like that Blind Melon video. We find all the other bees except we're squids and deep ones and shoggoths and anyway. I mean, Chris, it was your first one too. I mean, did you ever feel more in your tribe?
It was a great experience. I got, I live in a, kind of semi-rural area. There aren't a lot of people with the same interests. Mm-hmm. And most of my social networks are on these Discords, and actually being able to meet the people that I'm talking to every day and, have face-to-face conversations, share a meal, share a drink, get crushed by Bridget,
My hugs are legendary, apparently. Sorry.
That's what made the 16-hour drive worth it.
Well, how long again?
16 hours. Yeah. So lesson learned from this one is if it won't fit in a plane or a train, I'm not taking it with me.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's fair. Oscar, to your point, something I thought was just really fascinating because, okay, we're at a gaming convention. And usually when you're at a gaming convention, you're around other gamers. You establish that. But there's so many different niches and genres and types of gaming.
The movie people, the literary people, the historian people.
For everything to be so hyper-focused on Lovecraft, that was just like, well, everyone here knows what Cthulhu is. Everyone here understands what Lovecraft is. And that's not just in the con center itself. Like, John, it was a trip going through the city and sitting at a random tavern or restaurant and seeing like a Shoggoth drawing on the wall. Like, you people know what that is? Which city is this? And why did I know
It's the city where it all started, baby. This is Mecca.
But those oblivious
this is our Mecca. This is Cthulhu Palooza weekend.
And I feel like they embrace it too. I mean, like you said, some of the bar,
We
Murphy said
money.
stuff.
We pump so much money into that
Yeah.
economy for
Yeah, we
those
do.
4 days.
Honey, it's like
Why
we live on
wouldn't they love
NecronomiCon.
us?
Yeah.
We're older and cleaner than most gamer nerds. Okay, we've got better income, So yeah, it's not like the Gen Con crowd that they've got to close all the restaurants at 12.
Well, and not only that, it's a nice sized con. I mean, I asked Niels while we were there, and he didn't have official numbers, but he thought there was maybe about 1,500 people this year, and that's a nice size because you see the same people all weekend.
Yeah.
There's enough people that everybody's around, but it's not like like you say, Gen Con, 100,000 people. Like you just can't move around. Like that's just not fun.
And that I like the idea of Gen Con. I like the idea of Dragon Con. That kind of a crush of people is not something I could cope with.
And especially right now too, with all the COVID stuff, right? Like in a normal year,
I didn't like it before pandemic.
for sure, 100%. I wouldn't do Gen Con myself. It's too many people for me. I don't like it. But 1,500 people, 2,000 people. We have a couple of local cons here. They're 200, 600 people. It's nice. It's almost like a family reunion because you just see all the same people all the time. And especially for the local ones, because sometimes you just see them around randomly.
Yeah, agreed. And that 1,400, not only is it kind of like a sweet spot, attendance number for me, it's also separated out in between two hotels that are a couple blocks from each other. So it kind of like divides that number again, where you start circling your people in the vendor hall, or the people that are staying at the Omni, or the ones that are staying at the Biltmore. So it also makes it a little bit more palatable, the fact that it's spread out and not all just stacked into one hotel.
Yeah. Well, now for Chris and Bridget, since this was both your first years coming out, was there anything in particular that stood out, like as your first time coming out, that like, oh, that was just like the best thing?
Oh, do I answer like alphabetically or chronologically? Jesus, so much good stuff happened at that con. Chris, do you have idea off the top of your head while I ramble around in my head?
You got to pick honestly, that memory, that memory. I had a good time at NecronomiCon because, and that's the memory. Whatever popped in your head.
I think what defines my first NecronomiCon for me is Wednesday night at Murphy's. We completely slammed them. There was just one poor guy in the kitchen to start. There was one server. They were not prepared at all for us. They did eventually get more help in, as I understand, but. We were sitting there, we started with like 10 of us, then there were 12 of us, then there were 17 of us. And, every time somebody walks in, of course, the whole group is, yay! And, through the course of the evening, we just get louder and louder and louder. And, I get to, hang out with the MUP folks who I talk to and help moderate the Discord. I got to say hello to Paul Fricker. I got, things like that. It's, that I think defines the entirety of Necronomicon, and then everything else you can see it as kind of fulfilling that same emotional need as that same first night that everyone was showing up.
No, solid example. If I'm following Oscar's advice, it was Oscar. Do you remember what you just said? The phrase like, but
I had a great time at NecronomiCon because
I had a great time at NecronomiCon because I got to meet all you guys in person. This is the first time me meeting John. This is my first time meeting Chris. Even though we have gamed and orbited and circled around each other, I have been annoying Oscar on his Facebook page for the past 2 years. Smothering Golden Goblin Plus with like affection and love and hype girlness, but I never met him. I don't think we had even corresponded via email at that point. It was just
I actually checked my messages and I saw that you'd messaged me a couple of times about joining the I Am Red Hook movement.
Was that me?
Back when we announced that we were going to be starting a whole initiative.
Wow. That was like what, a couple of years back?
That was I think that was 15.
15.
That was a long.
Oh yeah, because you didn't go to 17. Yeah, it must have been.
Holy cow. Was I even in horror gaming in 2015? Lord have mercy.
Or
But
it might have been 19. I'm not sure.
Listen,
But
those last 3 years are a wash. It's okay. But like, I got to meet Keeper Murph and Keeper Dave for the very first time. So what I enjoy most about NecronomiCon, if I'm just jumping out there on the platform and just let's go, is meeting people face to face and being able to spend quality time with them, because I didn't have a schedule. Murph was very particular. Do not make a schedule. Do not run a bunch of games. Do not sign up for a bunch of games. Keep your schedule loose, because you're going to get pulled in all these directions, meet all these people. And I'm just like, that doesn't sound like any convention I've ever been to. So I'll listen to you maybe 50% of the way and still schedule some of my schedule and then leave the rest open. And my open schedule got devoured by people I got a chance to sit down and love on.
Yep. And that every other year, whenever we get to go. That's always the thing. It's the people, it's the community. It's getting ready to just like sit and have a beer with Glancy, or to have sit and have drinks with you over at Murphy's. Just all those experiences. Like we took Chris Lackey out for a lunch one year. Just was me, him, and a buddy of mine, and we just sat over at Blake's or Murph's, one or the other. It's the same thing. And it just had a conversation. It was quiet. Nobody was around. Like, just all those little things. Like this year, I've never gamed at Necronomicon because it eats up so much time. You're 4 hours of FaceTime with, just a couple of people. And Oscar had a slot open up in one of his games. He's all my games are sold out. I was like, all right, well, that's, whatever. And then I went back to go look, and there was a seat open, and I was like,
somebody
fuck, I'm
must
going
have
to take it.
canceled.
And
So, yeah.
it's the first he's been running games for the podcast for
over a year,
years now.
Yeah.
And we never played
physically together.
Yeah.
Right.
So it was great. It was amazing.
Okay, so now I have to ask you, what was something huge, significant, memorable that sticks out to playing in person with Oscar Rios?
I mean, for me, just because we've played so much together, to be able to sit down and do it was just amazing, just to be together, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the, like this is cool, and we play games, and Chris, my social circle is online. I don't have a lot of people that I interact with here in Arizona, so like everybody is somewhere. And like my buddy Jesse came out because he lives up in Massachusetts. My buddy John came out, and like I left the con on Sunday. John came up and I left. We went and we spent the rest of the day together. And like that's the whole weekend for me. Like that makes all of travel and the money and COVID risk and all that stuff, makes it all worthwhile for that. Just for those experiences. And yeah, it's. What about you, Oscar?
Ooh.
I was very, for me, it was an honor. It was an honor to represent a certain demographic at a very high level. As a gaming guest of honor and a person of color, and as someone who lives and breathes everything H.P. Lovecraft would have fucking hated. Hispanic New Yorker, gaming guest of honor. That fucker was turning in his grave the entire time I was in that city, and that's totally fine with me. Not as an in your face, but as a way to stand and show the community that it is more than just X. It's a big circle of everyone. Cosmic horror doesn't differ, that doesn't differentiate. It's equally horrible no matter who you are. So for me, that was a great honor, and it was a great honor to be in so many amazing panels with so many amazing people, and lend my voice, especially in the ones where I was the only gamer. I was in panels where I'm the only dirty gamer nerd, and it's all professional mainstream authors and academics and scholars, and here I am, the dirty gamer nerd. But I held my own. Like, my voice was heard. and I was part of that chorus. So just to stand up for my slice of the pie, the RPG Cthulhu, and my slice of the demographic as a minority creator, it was just a great honor. I mean, it was a total highlight of my career. I almost killed myself with the schedule, and I was half dead when I left, but I would don't do it again in a heartbeat.
Yeah, you had a lot of things going on. I think I recorded at least 2 of the panels you were on and was in one of your games. So.
I ran 3 games. I was in 5 panels.
Oh, God.
And I did an author reading.
It's a full boat.
And I was at the ball and the guest of honor cocktail party. So, yeah.
Yeah. Jesus.
And I had a couple of industry meetings. I scheduled meetings with people. So yeah, it was. Oh, and we were vending at the booth, so I made appearances at the booth. Thank God for our booth Goblin Dorsey. Shout out. You saved us. Yeah, it was a lot, but it was totally worth it. I'm still tired.
I was going to say, I'm tired for you. Shit.
Wow.
By the way, I don't know if you heard the rumor about that booth, but that booth started being called the Super Booth. It was always busy. There was always all this traffic to it. It has so much good content. Like, I'd be walking around like, have you been by the Super Booth? I was like, yeah, I have.
It was stuffed. I mean, I think there were like 7 little publishers. And
by our powers combined, Super Booth.
Yeah. My anal retentive New York ass was there before the gamer room, and before the person running the booth was there to let us in. We were there and had our shit down on our corner. It was like I got my displays. The rest of you can figure it out. This is where my shit is.
Am I remembering right that your booth was right next to the guy who was in the face tentacles and destroying his vocal cords the entire time?
Yeah, that it was stuffed with every square inch. I had the black racks on the corner of that whole menagerie.
Yeah, I got a few things from there. I don't remember who all publisher was, but
doesn't matter. we were all in it
Everybody.
Together. Whoever you gave money to, I'm sure they appreciated it.
For sure. At the Super Booth. So this was something that the Miskatonic University podcast guys warned me about, and it's actually Mike Diamond at the Old Ways too, about brace yourself for the vendor hall because you're getting ready to trick off more money than you could ever possibly imagine. I am very proud of myself. I made it out of there spending $22, and that was on a Necronomicon shirt. I was actually able not to do this at every booth. How did you guys do? Not asking for monetary drops, but like, did you drop a mortgage? Were you okay?
I got myself 2 t-shirts from Psycho because I love those fucking guys. And I've had a relationship with them forever. I would have loved to have dropped some money on the HPLHS booth, but I got all their shit already. And they hadn't come out with anything really new. I meant to pick up the sea shanties one. The blur of time. My wife got me an amazing idol called the Lady of Innsmouth, which very cool. I've got pictures of it on my Facebook page. When we were driving up on the long drive from New York, not as long as you, Chris, but
16 hours, Jesus.
But I was saying back in 2019, I saw this idol in the booth in the vendor's room, and it was a lot, and I really regretted not getting it, and I'm hoping I see it again. And then fuck me, there it was, and it was still just as expensive, and I wasn't going to get it, and my wife reminded me it was our 30th anniversary that following week.
Congratulations.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you, and picked it up for me. So yeah, I was very happy with that.
Yeah, I bought some books and art mostly. I got a woodblock print, which is pretty cool. And then some postcard prints because at that booth, the guy, his stuff is all pen and ink and pencil, and it reminded me of Giger, and it reminded me of the Polish artist whose name I can never remember because it's got letters that aren't in English, but very distinctive style, is on a lot of metal albums. You know, his stuff reminded me of that, and I couldn't decide. Well, I like this one and like that one and like that one too, but that one, and so I decided to get postcards so that I could get them all and not, get in trouble when I got home. And then there was, and I'll have to find his card to find the name of his stuff, but there was a guy down the middle at the end who had really cool prints that kind of looked like you could use them for tome pages.
Yeah, you took me by that booth.
Yes, I did.
Yes.
This guy?
Yeah, that guy.
That's him.
Yep.
Oh, nice flex, John.
I had to get the one with the Cthulhu and the Lovecraft on it.
Super sexy.
He probably stuck his card in the bag. It might be on the back there. It was on mine.
It's not there. It's I think he was Art Muffin.
That's yes.
Yep, Art Muffin.
So I got 3 of those. I got a set of earrings for my wife to bring back. They were little
Good call.
Turquoise skulls in a string. And then for the kids, I got them stuffed bats with great big eyes. And then
the cute ones.
Yeah.
The like buy me or I'll die crying ones. Yeah, those.
Yeah, those. And the neat thing about that booth is they donate part of the proceeds to bat preservation.
Oh, nice.
I found out after I bought them. And I also got them. I bought some of Damon's dice prototypes that he's working on.
Those are so cool.
I bought the ones that he's doing. I can't remember exactly what he's calling them, but the ones that come with a crayon that you fill in the numbers yourselves. Because I was like, they'll get a kick out of this, and they absolutely did. So, and a shirt. I got a shirt at the HP Lovecraft Film Society booth.
That's where this one came from.
Okay, John. So, how did you do the dealer room? Because we've seen 2 items already. What else you hiding from us?
So I didn't spend too much. Somebody bought me a print of a piece of art that I almost bought.
Oh, wow.
Terrible.
Yeah, he was waffling about ponying up a couple $100 for the original. Or
well, see, it wasn't an original.
It was a print on canvas.
It was print on canvas, so I didn't get it. But Oscar wound up getting me that. And then the name of the artist is Jennifer Herboda Lesser. She also did the art for the Necronomicon poster in 17. So I had to get that. Because I tried to buy the original. I tried to get the banner from Neil's that year. And he was like, yeah, no. So I saw that she had it. I was like, oh, fuck, I'm just going to get the print then. And then she had a piece, an original. It wasn't too big. It was like $600. And I was like, I didn't come planning on like buying art. And it was the same thing at the art show. It was relatively small this year. They had some really beautiful pieces, and they had a couple that were like, 200, 150.
Mm-hmm.
There were a few statues. Gage Prentice had a couple of statues, I think. And I'm like, oh no, it's got a dot on it. Fuck. All right. And I'm like, ultimately probably good because it was going to be a pain to try to figure out how to ship stuff. And I just agonized over the painting because it was an original, and I was like, I would love to, but I can't. She's like, well, I can let it go for $500. I'm like, no, I'm not trying to talk you down. Like, this wasn't what I planned on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but I think next, I was gonna say next year, next time, I think I might go planning ahead with like an art budget to like
good for you.
Pick up a couple of things.
Mm-hmm.
So may I share a screen?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, hold on. See if I can do this.
I believe in you.
Oh, you've got to let me do it.
All right, well, you do it and I'll throw it up.
So that is Lady of Innsmouth. That's the back. And here's a quick, because got to support your independent artists.
Yep.
So
Wow.
that's our
Can we
Etsy
see the
page.
front again, please? Wow.
She had actually more expensive ones that were hand painted, and they came in like a bronze or a steel. They came in several finishes. So
What's the material on this one?
I think it's Shoggoth bone. I don't know. It's
And
probably,
he said it with a straight face too.
probably resin
Okay,
or some
yeah.
such nonsense.
That
Okay.
is gorgeous. Your wife is a boss.
Yeah, definitely mine.
Yeah, so I escaped without spending too much. A couple of T-shirts. I actually wound up not getting any. Well, that's not true. I bought a Pete's new book, Pete Rawlick's new book. He was there, and Mike Davis was there, which kind of surprised me a little bit. I wasn't sure if he was going to make it out. I don't think he went to 19. But he was there, so that was cool. He and Pete were sharing a booth, so it was nice to to catch up with him a little bit, see how he was doing. Again, for me, it's always going to circle back to just everybody being there. Well, not everybody, but a large number of people being there and just randomly bumping into, even posting up on the Discord like, "Hey, what's everybody doing?" And not everybody's checking, right? We're like, "All right, well, I'm going to go over here if anybody shows up." And then invariably one person would show up, 2 people would show up, another 5 people would show up.
Yeah.
And you meet people that way too.
Yeah.
It was, I don't remember what day, but we went down to Walking Pot. And I was like, this is where we're going.
Yeah, you caught that, Max. That's what's bothering you, right? That's what's bothering you, Max.
That's
And
hysterical.
had 2 people who I've never met before show up and join us for lunch, and that was pretty fun. Got to learn.
Yeah.
One of them was Dactyl Doc, and heard about his Detroit supplement that's upcoming, and
Oh
all that.
God, so good.
So yeah, I mean that's the interesting thing layer that having Discord and on your phone added, because it did add a layer of kind of a, I don't want to say it this way, but a distributed, hey, let's get up together kind of thing.
Yeah.
And increase the number of people that you could actually meet and talk to.
For sure. I felt that same way anytime I was at a meal or anytime I was in like the Poindexter. I think that was the name of the cafe at the bottom of the Poindexter. Yeah. It's like if you sit down, inevitably you're going to make eye contact with somebody else. Like, I vaguely remember you from drinks last night. I'm sitting down with you. Like, was it, I can't remember who it was, but like I was at breakfast with Keeper Dave and oh Lord, with this, I'm tired and I can't think, but like 2 other people joined the table because they happened to walk into the restaurant, made eye contact. It's like, "Oh, you, us, can I sit down?" Yeah. And that was a common thing, that open seat, open table, open couch, open bench feel. You just walk into a room. It's like, yep. All right, cool. I'm going to sit down, and it's seamless. Like, it's not awkward. It's seamless. And the body was just so incredibly welcoming. That just really the attendees and the convention organizers stuck the landing on making people feel at home and giving just a safe environment for them to be.
Yeah, and Neil's in his group. I mean, they just put on just an outstanding convention. I mean, every year there's usually something, right? We've had issues that have popped up. We like generally as a community, we sort of thing. But as far as like the con running things and all that, like everything is always so smooth. And if there's something going on, you grab a minion, or Neil's is. I don't think
everywhere.
He sleeps for 6 days.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't sleep for 3 weeks before.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
I would love to see his step counter after a con. That's something like 80,000 steps a day. Like, it's like he's magical. Like, he was just appearing out of walls. You turn around, it's like, oh, there he is. Oh shit!
And he was always so
everywhere.
Personable. It's like you never saw him, like he never seemed tired or annoyed or He was always just like, he had this 3-drink I love you man kind of vibe going the whole con, like day and night. It was fucking amazing.
How are you maintaining that? Yeah, actually, we need to get his secrets because he knows something that we don't, and whatever it is, I'm willing to pay for that.
I need a bag
level.
of those gummies. whatever it took, I need a bag of that.
And it was cool for this year. I don't know what we were doing up on the terrace. If that was, it might have been the Outer Dark meet and greet or whatever the hell you invited me up for. But like, we actually got to sit with Niels for like, I don't know, a half hour. Like he stopped vibrating.
And he caught his breath and had a drink with us and just kind of like, that was awesome. To see him like really in the middle of it all. He just sat down and we got the eye of the storm of Neil for like a brief moment where he sat and he like really caught his breath and had a drink with us.
Yeah. That was super cool. That might have been that's high on the list of highlights for this year for sure. Because we never you just see him and he's always running somewhere. So just to like
but he gave us he caught his breath with us for a minute. That was I really appreciate
that. Is amazing.
Yeah, that was really cool. Now I know Oscar didn't, but Bridget, Chris, you guys go to the block party on Wednesday, Thursday night.
That was with Big Nazo.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's actually where I was first introduced to Niels, which was just cool. I'm hanging out with Timothy G and a bunch of other people, and we're being loud and we're bouncing around, and you're at a block party, which for me, like, guys, I haven't been at a block party in 20 years. Are you serious? Two, there's a live band playing. I absolutely love live music, but they're all dressed up. Listen, I don't know how they got into that fucking rig or how they got out of it or how they even performed with all that stuff on, but they were just great entertainment. They were engaged with the crowd. They were on brand. I mean, it was absolutely amazing. But the backpedal off
I
of
wear
them,
no mask.
like they were out there getting it. So I'm hanging around, and then Timothy G goes like, "Oh, let me introduce you to Niels." And again, he's like sprinting from corner to corner. And when he finally turned him around and did the introduction, he was wearing a shirt that said "Support Black women who write weird shit." And as like one of the 6 Black people that I saw at that con, I immediately stopped and was like, I love you in that shirt. So when I saw him again, I was like, hey, just as an FYI, I really appreciate you wearing that shirt. Guys, I kid you not, this was the moment. I don't know if he was moving at the speed of light. I don't know what it is, but he stopped. He looked me in the face. He looked down at his shirt, and it's almost like he made the realization, like, you're the Black girl in this shirt. So he was like, oh my God, I have to get you in touch with this artist that made the shirt. She's super amazing. You guys... Every single time from that block party to the end of the con, when I passed him, he actually fucking recognized me. He's like, hey, I'm trying to get you in touch with that artist. She's over here. Hold on. But then I would get dragged away. He would get dragged away. Something would happen. And after the con, because I stayed one day extra, we were outside. I was getting a breath of air. He was teleporting from place to place. He's like, hey, can you please email me and I'll get you in touch with that artist? I did a couple days later. Same night, guys, he responded to this email and got me like plugged in with that artist. I have 2 of her shirts on the way right now. I'm super excited about it. But it's just like,
nice.
I can't say that I have that type of not accessibility, but the ability to be that close to a convention organizer of this side who's just so laid back, casual, and it's like willing to go the extra mile for an individual at a 2,000 person con. It's just, he's brilliant. He walks on water.
Yeah,
sorry, the question was block party. Sorry, Chris.
No, Oscar and I didn't go. He was running his first game of the con was Thursday night.
And if I had known the block party was the same time, I would have never scheduled it at that time because they were so. One criticism: it took them so long to get the schedule up. I had to send in my RPG events, so I didn't know what I was up against. I would have never run a game against the block party. Yeah, but there I was.
Well, I mean, we had a almost fully good group, so I mean, it's fine.
We're not going there. The game went off great. Ultimately,
he was very, very good, and will be released on the show at some point
in an edited form.
An edited form. In a polished and cleaned up form, it shall be released.
Yes, absolutely. I think
no, but it was a good game. It was actually Girl in the Pines, which is in the souvenir book, which I was very happy to have been asked to donate a short scenario for the souvenir book. Which was funny because some of the dirty gamer nerds like me were like, they came up to me and said, oh snap! I looked at the souvenir book, and there was a scenario with maps and stats, and they were like something for us, and then we were like, yay! And I'm like, we're so sad.
I know there was much rejoicing.
Yeah.
I need to read through that. I think I only
Same.
thumbed through it.
Right. But people were like shocked that there was like a full scenario with like, you know, an illustration and a map and stats and like ready to go. So, yeah.
I think that one of the coolest parts of the game, not the coolest part, was, you know, we intro the characters, we did the thing, you know, we had the setup, we met the guy given the quest or whatever, and you know, like, what was it, maybe like 15-20 minutes in, Oscar would just like push back from the table and was like, okay, what do you do? And like that was it. And then the game was in our hands for the rest of the game.
Literally once they left the client who gave them the thing, I just was like, I'm done.
on fleek. Here we go.
At this point, I am completely reactive. Whatever you assholes want to do, I'll handle it. But I'm not doing it. My work is done. And they were like, "Oh, that's like sandbox." I was like, I just dropped them off in the Sahara of sandboxes. I'm like, do whatever the fuck you want. I got you.
Go forth and conquer. Let me know if you need me.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, here we go.
That's always fun.
That was good. It was good for me only for the fact that being from New Jersey, it made it easier for me to be able to
because it was set in New Jersey.
In New Jersey.
Yeah.
I wonder if there are any other scenarios set in New Jersey. All right, Dan Harms. Dan Harms, I know you're probably listening. All right.
So, out of curiosity, did either of you guys get a chance to play in Chris's Alien game, or at least see the modules that he put up?
I saw some photos, and I was angry at him.
Hold on,
I may have called him a very derogatory sexual word for someone who gives away the good stuff for free. But I'm thinking, you need to be paid for this level of passionate work.
Right,
Holy cow, Chris!
Wow.
Funny.
If you let me share.
Yeah, you gotta share some of that.
Hold on, let me.
Because it's a crime that you did that just for shits and giggles. That's some serious level of artistry and commitment.
Hold on, I gotta authorize the
share.
Oh, the app. So my buddy Jesse left Saturday night. He's like, all right, I've been here for like 12 hours. I have to go home. It's it's like 9:30. So Adam was sitting with us. I think Chris was with us and had gone back already because he was going to be around.
I met you guys for dinner and I had to go get pulled together.
So I was like, all right, well, Adam, I'll just come with you because I've got nothing, like nothing's going on. I'll just come and hang out. It's, it's like 9, maybe we'll hit the bar again, but like, whatever. So we go over and Chris is like, I got an open seat. And I was like, oh shit.
I'll have to quit and restart the browser to do it, but you guys have the link, so one of you could do it.
I was about to say, if he restarts it, that'll bump him, right?
Yeah. So Adam and I, like, I was like, he was like, do you want to play? And I was like, yeah, I mean, I'll play. Do you want to play? And he was like, well, if you don't want to play. And I was like, well, I want to play, but if you want to play, then...
they're having this conversation next to me. So I'm like, I'm perfectly happy for you to engage in blood sport for this. I mean,
go ahead, host tryouts to get into this game.
Yeah. So I wound up playing, and Adam was on his computer.
Yeah, but Johnny should be able to.
Yep, I'm doing it now.
There you go.
Oh, bam! Here we go, guys. This shit is stunning.
All right, so
unreal.
So that's the close up of just the miniatures there. Well, close up, I say. It's the kind of the overview of the whole set assembled.
And then there's the neomorphs there.
Worker Xenos. Who kind of build out the hive and apply resin, and you guys were the first group to actually go down that hallway. I play tested it 3 times and ran it once at the con before you guys played it, and you guys were the first one to actually go down there once they saw those. And this is another corridor with empty crates that the PCs can fill up on, and a drone in the hall.
Chris, as you're flipping, can you tell me again, and then everyone watching too, how long it took you to crank all these out?
So the very first test prints I did for this, I did in November of last year. Now, that's not to say that I was printing constantly or working on it constantly, but the very first set of prints, and then I kind of poked around and figured out how I wanted the layout to work. And once I had that, I went with the 5-room dungeon kind of design. So then I was able to write the scenario around it and start things. So the actual amount of time putting in work on it, probably I'd say on the order of 160 hours, assembling, painting, all that. As far as machine time goes, how long that printer was running, that was months.
Oh, wow.
And it was big, like that. The picture of the very first picture was on the bed. Like it's not a small set. Like it was a big.
Actually, hang on. I've got it still in the tub. I got to clear some of the crap off of it.
While he's doing that, I'll cycle just through some more of the pictures here.
So this is one of the wall modules that I have to glue back down. But this is the tub that traveled to Providence with me. So,
whew.
I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I brought it. I had a lot of fun doing it. I'm not going to do it again.
That's fair.
Just because the drive back was brutal. Driving up wasn't too bad. They both took about the same amount of time, I think. I'm not sure, but driving up was fine. Didn't feel too tired when I got up there, despite leaving at a ridiculous hour in the morning. But driving back after having spent the week at the con,
yeah,
that made it too hard. So.
Oh God, yeah.
But this was worth bringing. And then if you keep going, you can actually get to the player packets. Go back one.
Yep.
So this is one of the player packets. There were 7 PCs. Each PC got a full packet like this. They got a character sheet, a brief biography with, kind of give them the feel of the character's agenda and the character's talents. They got the equipment manifest with all the mechanics for and any blurbs from the books about the equipment they were carrying. They got a handout for the inciting incident. They got a physical prop for their signature item.
Mm-hmm.
A reference sheet, and then in the middle there are equipment cards for weapons, and the thing there in the center is the X card that we're using, which is pulled from the semiotic standard that was it Ron Cobb made for the movies. So you'll actually see that in corridors and stuff, and that one is the hazard symbol. So that it was thematic for it. So every character got one of these, and the character portraits I generated on one of those online AI image generators.
Chris, I'm gonna probably be bringing it up every time I bring up NecronomiCon. This was like a showstopper that you brought to the con because everyone is talking about it. I didn't even get an opportunity to play in either of them, and I can't stop talking about them. Like, these were just absolutely stunning, babe.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely.
You're muted, John.
Yay, I'm not muted anymore.
Hello, you're back.
I was going to say the signature items, all the things came with, some item, and then the chips from, what is it, Chip Lab?
Yes.
Had the fast action, slow action stuff that you physically, turn them over, hand them back, move them out of the way. Like, it's just very, just so well done.
Yeah, it's a whole last experience.
Well, I went with the chips early on. I had those made back when they put out the pre-release document, because the suggestion they had in there and in the core rulebook today is to turn your action card to show what actions you've taken, and that's just way too damn fiddly. It's much easier to take a piece of plastic and flip it over when you've taken that particular action.
And the name badges too. You can see it a little bit better in on this screen here. We all had little name badges that we could clip on. Just very, very cool. And
you put your foot into this, Chris.
And you ran a hell of a game too. I mean, just the descriptions and sort of prowling around the table. I think you leaned into Murph's ear at one point and were kind of like, stage whispering, not whisper. Like the whole experience was amazing. I probably should have recorded that as well.
Well, if you want, I'll run it online for you guys at some point. I upgraded Foundry, so I need the Alien module to upgrade to the new version as well.
Yeah. It was really. I was glad to. I played Aliens before and I was in the game you were running on the Discord, but
right, yeah, that was Destroyer of Worlds. You came in for the last 2/3 of it, I'd say.
Yeah. But it was great to, again, just to be in person, right? Like this is great, and playing games online is fun. It's never the same thing as being together. Like it's not.
and you get to pull out all the cool toys when you get to play in person.
Yeah, for sure.
I enjoy assembling and painting just as its own hobby, but when you can actually put it on the table to use for something, it's even better.
Yeah. Or in your case, put it out on a runway so we can parade it in front of everyone because it's so cool.
That was cool. Bridget, you weren't on any panels this year, were you?
No, sir. No, I didn't do. I wasn't on. Well, I was on the Miskatonic University podcast live show.
Podcast.
But other than that, no, I wasn't on any panels at all. Like I literally walked in, trying to go as light as possible. So, John, I don't remember if I had this conversation with you or somebody else, but I wear so many hats in this industry that typically when I go to a con, I have to say to myself, like, okay, this is a symphony con. Okay, this is a Chaosium con. Okay, this is a Mupp con. And I had never been to NecronomiCon before, so I didn't know what hat I was supposed to be wearing. I'm like, I don't know which one I'm wearing. And they all look great when you're in this little niche crowd. But I did realize after that convention that NecronomiCon is definitely for me a Miskatonic University podcast con. That is a Mupp con all day. Symphony doesn't have to make an appearance. I don't have to run any games or do any type of thing. Like I can literally just Mupp it and be exactly where I need to be. Chaosium was good. They didn't need any booth help. I did slide behind a couple other people's booths because reasons. And Miss Molly Helper here. Yeah. But like, yeah, I think this is a Mupp con. But no, I wasn't on any panels and I didn't have any really major things going on. I had the Pirate Borg that I did, the live show at the Pirate Borg and the Mupp show. And I did Extra Life, which, holy shit, that is so fun. Did you guys get a chance? Oscar, I don't remember seeing you at Extra Life. Did you make it by there?
No.
Extra Life was dope. Like just watching money fly around with people.
I'm a big supporter of their, I do actually, I was in the raffle to raise, yeah, I've got to run a game for people. I should reach out to them.
It's on the to-do list. It's on the to-do list.
Grabs phone, makes a note.
Look, I started delivering a book as soon as I got back from the con. Okay, I've been in mailing.
Cow! Yeah.
Yeah, I've mailed a lot of packages over the last 4 days.
Oh my. Oh god, it's really cool because I'm already seeing unboxing videos or people like super excited carrying it around. So congratulations on that.
The first people started receiving their copies today. So I saw a few things online. So
yeah, Max Ryder, who actually commented, has an unboxing up of it already.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a fun project. It's one of the things we're trying to do is give new young authors a chance to have their work showcased and with a little bit of mentoring, so they're not just facing the hard, cold world of our very critical fan base. without at least a warning of how pissy we can be. I love you, fans, but God, you get one thing wrong, and I'm the same way. I can't even be mad that they're so pissy because I'm that pissy. I was playing a German soldier once, and it said I had a rifle, and I asked the guy running it, "What kind of rifle? Is it a Kar 95? Is it a Mauser? Is it a Steingewehr?" And he said, "It just says rifle." And I almost lost my.
It's not enough.
I'm like, you fuck, So no, I get
Oscar
it.
turned into Glancy.
I get it that we're pissy. I'm pissy. Don't do German soldiers and not stat out the perfor. I've got a scenario set in World War II, and I've got the Type 99 light machine gun for the statted out. I've got the Arakasa, right? All of the Japanese pre-gens have Japanese weapons, researched for caliber. Don't do rifle. No,
Just don't do rifle.
This is why you run space games.
People will still find a way to complain.
Yeah,
It's in their
they'll
nature.
complain.
Well, people got a people, right?
Yeah, but no,
Oh, honey.
it's the new authors need to know who they're writing for, and they need to learn that writing Call of Cthulhu is not writing for anything else because it is based in reality and historical periods. So you have to, when you write for Cthulhu, you are dancing with two ladies. You're dancing with Calliope and you're dancing with Cleo, the muses of epic poetry and history.
Well played, man. Well played.
Plasma.
Couldn't let it go, could you? He's like, I'm going to jump on it.
It's like, I know it's bait, but I'm going to bite it in.
Well, and if I get it wrong, then people will be screaming on the other end. So I spent enough time yelling at podcasts. I might as well make somebody else yell at a podcast for us.
All right. So did anyone go to any panels they found especially fascinating?
Oh, I saw a hand
Yep.
go up there in the back.
Favorite panel and favorite moment in a panel.
Oh,
Favorite panel? Fuck.
so let me
I
pull
don't
it
Don't
up.
think too much.
Yeah, let me find the title of it. So I went to a friend of mine did a history of the queer weird. I didn't know she was doing it until she mentioned it, so I didn't have it on my schedule to go to.
But you had to
originally.
know she was queer and weird, right? Before that, it wasn't
Well,
a
no,
total
but
shock.
I didn't know. No, so like it was one of those where it's like, okay, it's up against other things, and
But dude, that's your friend.
well, I didn't know she was on the panel.
Okay.
Okay. And honestly, that actually, my original plan. So as soon as they announced that they had put out the schedule, I pulled it up and built an Excel sheet and was like, all right, if I go to a panel in this slot, I'm going to go to this one. If I go to the one in this one, I'm going to go to that. And I did that all that. And she's like, yeah, no, I'm doing it this slot on Saturday. I'm like, I can't find that. And it was because when I had built the spreadsheet, they changed the schedule after the fact.
Right.
So it didn't wind up being, but it wasn't something I'd originally planned on. I went, it wasn't something I would have necessarily picked on my own. So it was interesting to get the different perspective that way, and she did a damn good job on it. Yes. So I think that was my favorite panel. The panel that I was most disappointed in was the one about ambergris to Yuggoth one about fungus, because I'm pretty sure one of the panelists was stoned out of her mind. So I bailed on that one.
You can skip me. I didn't hit any panels at all.
She went to the she was doing the fungus panel on mushrooms.
On mushrooms.
I wouldn't rule it out, because it was one of the first question was what is it about fungus? Why do you like it? Why do you think it drew such a large crowd to this panel? And she answered, and it was real slow and kind of spaced out. And one of those things that sort of sounds deep but isn't really, and kind of went on for way too long. And I was just like, yeah. But
All right, John.
yeah, I was gonna say John was excited about.
Well, so I recorded, I don't know, like 8 or 9 panels. I always go and bring my recorder, so I'm kind of working while we're there. It's interesting. I've never had the experience that you had, Chris. All the panels that I've been to have been enjoyable. Some of them are better than others. Some panelists are more engaging. Some people have more to say or, quite loquacious. The existential perspectives in cosmic horror was good. I like that one, John Padgett. I think
I couldn't go to any, but that was on my list that I would have liked to have gone to.
It'll be released at some point. You can download it at SoundCloud / whatever your podcatcher of choice is. The survival and horror gaming was good. You were on that one. The Dark Worlds of Junji Ito was good. The kids like that. Originally he was supposed to be there, so I was going to bring one of the books with me to have him sign it.
Oh, to have him sign it, yeah.
Yeah, but it turns out that he, I guess he would have made it in 21, but then whatever with 2022 or 20, for this year couldn't make it. But it was interesting because I didn't know that much about it other than like he's got freaky artwork and stuff, so that was interesting. And then the Lovecraft in Southeast Asia was good.
Oh, I heard that one was good. Yeah,
it was really good. I recorded that one too. I think that's actually going to drop on Wednesday. No, the Grimdark's going to drop on Wednesday.
Was that Grimdarkest Cosmic Horror?
Yes.
I went to that one.
Hey, as a newbie, what are you looking at to see this drop schedule? Is this something that like I have access to, or is that internal only?
No, I have. Because of all the other editing and all the other shit and work and everything else, I'm going to release a panel every week, every Wednesday.
Okay.
So last Wednesday was the body as horror, gender and sexuality. That panel dropped already last Wednesday, and then this Wednesday it'll be the Grimdark as cosmic horror.
Okay, so it's Christmas morning for us. We don't know what we're going to get, but a panel is dropping on Wednesday. You're looking at an internal calendar. I just wonder, is there a way that I can look at that too?
Yeah,
got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought that shit. Oh, you know why? Because I edited that one already. I'm like, I can't find this goddamn panel. It's because it's edited and I have to schedule it. I'm like, fuck, I know I recorded. I was there. I must have recorded it.
Oh my God, you sound like me. That's so funny. Like, where the fuck did it go?
So yeah, they were all good. I wanted to hit the I don't remember the name, but it was like a cosmic horror and Jewish literature or something like that. I really wanted to hit that one, and I couldn't make it work. And I don't know if Jesse was coming up like at that time, so like I was gonna have to leave to meet him or whatever it was. But I was like, crap. I think someone else had recorded it, so I'm just gonna kind of keep my eyes out for it. But yeah, you can't. I did what you did, Chris. I didn't do an Excel sheet, but I took the schedule, I printed it, and I started highlights. So I'm definitely going to do this. Definitely going to do this. I'm like, shit. These two things are like scheduled at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh crap! And one is in one hotel, one's in the other. So if I go to that one, well, then I'll have to do this panel because the other one's at like 10 minutes later.
So when I got there, they gave us the book, and I went and marked it in the book. Yeah, I didn't get to all the ones I marked. But it was. I thought it would be a good exercise to say, if I make it to a panel at this time, this is the one I want to go to.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing you were saying. Murph said don't schedule anything, and I maybe for your first time, right? I agree with that. But like when you look at all the things, you kind of I feel like I don't know. I'm a planner already anyway, so I feel like I need to block certain things out and be like, okay, like Chris said. If I'm not doing anything at this time, then I can go do this for sure. unless we're getting drunk at the bar, and then I guess we're just going to get drunk at the bar, and then that's what it is then, right?
And that's part of why I didn't sign up for any on-book games this time, was because I wanted to be able to have the flexibility during the day just to do whatever, or, been walking around town all day, I need to go lay down.
Yes, Jesus.
Well, so speaking of, how well did you maintain your schedule, Bridget? Because I know you said going in, like, I'm going to set boundaries and I'm going to stick to it.
What? Listen, whatever. I have a convention experience that I go through. I go through a convention, and the immediate day following, I write a whole list of everything that went well for me and things that didn't go well for me. And I have a whole list, and I sit on it and I look at it. And then within the following week, every item that I put down, I do kind of like a follow-up update. Like, next year, make sure you don't do this. Next year, make sure you don't do this. I already have my list for NecronomiCon. I already know the things that I'm going to be changing for the following year. And so far, and I could literally like screenshot it and show you the notes on it. I'm going to keep a loose schedule in 2024 as well. I doubt that I will schedule myself to run any games. I will be looking at pickup, hangout, networking, things of that nature. Big lessons that I learned is come in Wednesday and leave on Sunday or early Monday. Me staying through Monday and leaving Tuesday was a waste of my time. The Omni is expensive, and I got stuck in LaGuardia for 5 hours. Like, I could have left on Monday morning or Sunday, and been
You
just
called me. I would have taken you out for pizza.
Baby,
literally, LaGuardia is like 20 minutes from my house.
I know. Jeez. Oh, that's right. When I was in LaGuardia, I actually texted you. It's like, I'm here. He was like, yep, you're 20 minutes away. Yeah. 5 hours in the airport was that was real precious.
Next time.
Next time I'll also fly into Boston and take the train down. So these like little lessons that I learned going forward. But no, boundaries didn't do real well. The one thing I did manage to do well is not hyperextend myself socially, and that's a concern that I have. Constantly, I am very hyper and flirtatious, and I jump all the way around. But like internally, I actually don't like being around people for long periods of time. If I'm on a 2-hour sprint around people, I have to go sit somewhere and hide for an hour or 2 hour and actually come down. I did manage to stay on top of myself that way.
And I think you said that to us. I mean, I think even the first day that I met you when we were outside Blake's,
Murphy's,
you were like, hey, at some point I'm just going to have to like fucking leave. Like, that's it. Like, cool. All right.
Yeah,
I mean, I get it.
I'll see you guys in a couple hours. I need to go sit in my hotel room, take my bra off. It needs to be dark, and I don't want to hear anybody speaking. And I'll see you guys after that.
Yeah. If there's one thing Cthulhu fans are fine with is quirky personality.
Right.
Well,
we have those in abundance.
Right. I mean, I'm kind of I won't leave, right? But like generally I'm like, if we're good, then we're good. Like, I'll talk your ear off. We can stay up all night. It's fine. But like, generally speaking, I don't like being around a lot of people, but like, I'll make it work. I think between Saturday and like for 2 days, I think I slept like 7 hours because we just,
what? Oh,
we were just out. So we finished up Chris's game on Saturday night, and it was just about midnight. And I'm trying to talk to Chad, and he's walking away, and I'm following him like, Chris, you need help? And he's like, no, I got it. And, Chad's like, oh, well, we're going to wherever, Blake's. And I'm like, dude, it's 12 o'clock. And he's like, well, and I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'm fucking going to Blake's then. They literally kicked it. They're like, you have to pay and you have to leave. We have to pick up all this stuff. You can't stay here anymore. So I didn't get in the room until like 2:30.
Nope. Mm-mm.
And then my buddy John came up on Sunday, and I was like, all right, I'm gotta leave super early Sunday morning or Monday morning. So like I'll try to get to bed by like 9, try to get a decent amount. I mean, he didn't leave till like 9 or 9:30. I got up until like 10:30. I was up at 2 o'clock. Like, it was just I mean, I would do it again in a heartbeat, right? Like you just, it is what it is. But
Mr. Guest of Honor, who ran 17 games, was on 24 panels. Did you sleep at all?
I had to. If I'm running a game the next morning, strangely enough, I always get up pre-dawn pretty much, whether I want to or not.
Hmm.
So I'm just an early person, and I'll start nodding off if I don't get to bed at a certain time. So I made sure that I got sleep every night. I did my fucking crazy carousing evening before the con started. The day before the con started, we did a massive epic karaoke night. After a lovely dinner with like freaking 15
Huge.
people.
Yeah, so many
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, we basically had to talk to the restaurant. They made a prefixed menu for us because we had so many
So many
people.
people.
And then afterwards, most of us, John bailed. Most of us went to a karaoke bar. And we were there from 9 to 1 in the morning. Just absolute epic. A lot of us were big karaoke fans. And some of us just like to drink and watch people make fools of themselves.
Which one are you?
Even no, I'm. You have to ask. I
do. I gotta ask. Which one are you?
I am desperately in need of validation. So yes, I am a performer. I'm a huge. I have a karaoke playlist on my phone that I can practice in the car.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yes. So what did you perform?
Okay, so what's your number one
Oh
song?
my god, I actually had a list. I wrote it out.
Yes.
I did Broken by Lovely the Band.
Okay.
I did the Cake version of I Will Survive. I did
Yeah, you did.
Backstreet Boys, I Like It That Way. Jesus, what didn't I did? I did Sweet Caroline because fuck it. I did Sweet Caroline. I did Blondie. Heart of Glass, I think.
Holy shit.
In key, almost killed myself. I have to check. I was really drunk. No, literally, like so much. We were there for hours, just hours. And then at one point, you have a list of the stuff, and it comes up. Somebody put in, "I'm on a boat."
Oh God, Lonely Island. Gotta love
Lonely
it.
Island, and I'm like, I don't know which one of you assholes picked "I'm on a boat."
I'm on a boat.
But God bless you, because I'm also an asshole that knows every word. And we did the whole thing, like and it was like so ridiculous. I'm like, one, I'm on a boat is on the karaoke list, and
Phenomenal.
Somebody picked it, and I just happened to know every word too.
That is amazing.
Was like, but no, I got it all out of my system. I got all the drunk, stupid, because I'm working. When the next morning, I'm working.
Yeah.
The next morning I'm setting up the booth. I've got a game at 7. Then I've got morning games the next 2 days and panels. So no, I'm a guest. I've got to present. And I did, and I was very proud, but I made sure I slept. I never showed up to anything smelling like I was at a con. And that required midday showers through most of the days.
Yeah.
Because it was hot.
Yeah, it's hot.
I'm like, I'm not sitting on this panel with like sweat through my clothes. So I would literally if I had it was sad because I'm like, I would have an hour break, and I'm like, oh, I could go to a panel. I'm like,
or I can go shower.
I can go take a shower and lay down and for a half an hour.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I got to be presentable. So I would go and I would, So yeah, self-care is important. Mm-hmm. Especially when you're entertaining.
Yeah.
I mean, face it, you're a guest at you're an entertainer. People have paid and registered to be in your games or go to your panels, so you owe it to them. It's
not to stink.
Right. Physically, literally.
Presentation professionally across the board.
You got to put that your best self forward.
Right. So if you were wondering about whether or not you should go to Necronomicon, just remember you can catch Oscar Rios saying, "I fucked a mermaid," or singing Backstreet Boys or something. You have options, just as an FYI, guys.
Oh my God. So much stuff. And actually there's now an official karaoke Cthulhu night. It all started, we challenged Chaosium in 2013. And then it became an official thing. And they said, "Oh, we're doing the official one Saturday." And I'm like, I can't do the official one Saturday. I'm running a game, the next morning. So I'm like, I had to skip that. So I just got a whole group of my crew together, and literally we filled the 16-person private room at Boombox, and we were there. They ordered insomnia cookies into the Boombox room. We were so drunk and hungry. We ordered snacks into the room. It was amazing.
So good.
Absolute epic. But again, after that, I was working. So yeah, I wish I could have been part of these roaming drinking things. I went to the cocktail party and I drank, and I went to the Eldritch Ball and I drank. But I was, more of there in an official capacity.
Yeah.
Well,
So what is the ball like?
Are we going to segue into the ball? Because that's a whole fucking thing.
Well, I was just going to say we also shut down the graduate bar too. I think you got.
Yes,
I think
we got kicked
I
out
think
of the
you and Mitzi left a little bit earlier, and then they literally security was like, "You have to fucking leave."
You have to go.
They pushed us out the door. They were like,
we were
"You're
there
done."
late. We were there late with you guys, but then I got tired, and Mitzi and I left, and it's a good thing we did because apparently you got thrown out right after.
we did.
The Eldritch Ball is amazing, just for people watching. People show up and they get their cosplay on and they get their makeup on and they are fucking you have people they are just stunning, like artistry costumes and just beautiful women and dapper men in the suits and the dresses like they're going to the fucking Oscars. And then you've got some chick with a fucking goat skull with eyes that's articulated.
Badass.
We had some chick with her whole face done like in a skull prosthetic that I didn't realize was you until I was looking at the pictures. I'm like, holy fuck. So good makeup.
Thank you.
Did not realize it till like 2 days after the con. Holy shit, that was Bridget.
That was stunning. The pictures of that were amazing. Yeah,
I appreciate it. Thank you.
I got in we got in quick. We got in early, and so we got to see it before it really filled up. So just the atmosphere, the decorations were amazing.
Yeah.
They do performance art. They do belly dancing. One of my real funny story. My wife is a belly dancer.
Oh, cool.
And very active in the New York, New Jersey belly dance scene for many, many years. And Misha, one of her belly dance buddies, was performing at NecronomiCon. So I'm there, and everybody's like, Oscar, 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 total strangers, old industry friends. Mitzi's like, Mitzi, and it's like, wait a minute, what? So it was like the Venn diagram of her nerdy overlapping with mine, and they had a belly dance friend together at the show. And they're looking at me like, oh, is your wife dancing? I'm like, pal. This is my circle. She's here with me on my circle. You're here in your wife's circle. So, but it was really funny because she had that moment there where she met one of her industry friends in the con, and I was like, oh my god, that's great. So we got to see one of her friends perform, and a certain man who is a saint and always in a great mood dropped extra drink tickets on us. As he walked by.
He was tricking them things off, honey.
Yep. We were like, I am so drunk. Here's 2 extra drink tickets. I guess I'll stagger up to my room with this one. And I did. So thanks, Neil. Much appreciated. I was so tired. I didn't dance. I didn't get up. I just sat in my chair watching the crowd, the fucking stunning, beautiful, amazing crowd. And I chatted with the reporter from the New York Times a little bit.
Oh, dope.
Yeah.
And they didn't take your picture?
Nice.
I wasn't that attractive. I had the boar mask on. I don't know if you walked by me a bunch of times.
Wait, boar mask and a suit?
Yeah, boar mask and a suit.
Holy shit, I didn't know that was you.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Let's pull up our pictures.
I didn't know that was you.
I'm gonna let's pull up. Try and pull up your picture because you look stunning too.
Holy cow, that was you in the boar mask. I think I have a picture of you.
Isn't it funny that
I literally think I have a picture.
Well,
of you
it
in my
is
wall
literally
photo.
a masquerade. So there you go. I didn't realize it was you until I saw the pictures after.
You're right. Wow. So Chris, this is just total transparency. When I was at the ball and after I left, I was like, I did it once. I don't need to go back. But then when I was doing my unpack, I was like, nope, the ball is mandatory. I will attend that every year. I don't know what happened that night because I left in a good mood. I went to that food truck and got Greasy Spoon, and I had a bunch of very awkward people staring at me because I had this huge mask, like this skeleton painted face on, which looked super creepy because I smile a lot and my teeth were painted onto my lips. So it looked like I had a pharyngeal jaw going on. Anyways, I had a bunch of very confused people at that food truck. Like, what the fuck did you just come from? It was great. Doc and I had a late night meal, but I remember at the event, I was like, all right, it's a burlesque show. That's cool. Cool mask, cool venue. It's loud and I don't really need to do this again. But then when I was doing my repack afterwards, it was like, holy shit. I remember your wife.
Most people do. She's stunning.
Wow. She really is. Wow. Yep. That was damn sure you. And I didn't know it.
You walked by us like 3 times.
Wow. I believe I even complimented your wife on her mask too.
Yeah. If you do real close, I've got my glasses, my bifocals on top of the boar mask.
On top of the boar mask.
So I wasn't blind in the freaking mask. That took some
Holy
finagling.
cow.
My face hurt
I
for
damn
like
sure
hours
y'all.
after, but it was totally worth it for the effect.
Yeah,
Yep.
we had a Hades and Persephone ask us to take their picture on the stairs while I was running the game, and that was an interesting experience running the game because we sat so in the Omni on the second floor. They have this coffee shop that closes at noon for some stupid reason.
John's like, yeah, I still don't under.
Anyway, they have a great table for gaming there. You gotta disconnect the TV from the HDMI port so that it's not running noise. But it's it's got like 8 seats and it's standing height. And we were there setting up, and you could tell the people who were there for the con because they stop and be like, "Ooh, what's that?" And then you'd have people who weren't there for the con and walk by like, "What the hell is that?
What are these people doing?"
A lot of drunk people too Saturday night. Whether they were at a wedding or something, it seemed
I
like.
think there was a wedding.
Yeah.
And then a whole crowd of them walked by, and they went the other direction, and then they went back. Where's the elevator? Well, there's elevators over there. Wait, no, we're gonna go to the elevators.
That was fun. Yeah, did we beat it to death? I don't know. I mean, was there anything else? Panels, games,
Block
games, parties,
the
drinking.
ball.
I had absinthe while I was there, or absinthe. I'm sorry, absinthe at the graduate bar. I hadn't had it before. I mean, it's like Sambuca, I guess.
It's
ultimately,
overrated.
right? Like it's not that
overrated.
exciting, but
It's overrated.
I hadn't had it, so I was like, well, shit. If they have it, I'll try it.
Right.
It tastes like licorice. I mean, it's okay.
Looking forward to next year. Well, 2 years.
2 years, yeah.
What, 25?
4.
24?
24. Yep.
Do you know they've already emailed a bunch of us and started talking about, hey, these are the kind of panels we want to see next year?
I'm not surprised.
And I am
thing.
thrilled because they said we didn't have enough Dirty Gamer Nerd panels. So they wanted to have more RPG kind of based panels. So I'm like, okay. So I'm already trying to think of RPG, like, I run RPG based Cthulhu panels at Kineticon a lot. So I've got a whole bunch of templates, but I really think I'd rather be a moderator of one of them.
Ooh.
Like get really good people and ask really good questions.
Bridget, here's your in.
Ha! Yay!
Yeah, I was thinking.
I'll just keep
I was
annoying
thinking
him on his
a-
Facebook profile.
I was thinking a while ago when you said, "Yeah, I'm not going to do much next year." I'm like, "Girl,
You're like, okay,
girl." In 2 years, you better have more of a presence in this. In 2 years, you need to be a force. You need to have a fan base that's going to be like, "What are you running?"
Okay.
Do you know
Okay.
I had to come up with 2 brand new scenarios. You want to know why? Because my fans stalk me through every New England con. And if I don't have new material, they're pissed off and said, I would have signed up for your games, but you lazy fuck, I played everything you're running. And I'm like, literally, I did Rising Phoenix, and I had my fans giving me shit that I played all 3 of these games, and I'm like, motherfucker.
Well,
Really?
listen.
It's a good plan. It's a good problem to have. It keeps me
It's a
honest.
great problem to have, but listen, your content conveyor belt needs to stay on.
Yeah.
It gets no days off.
It's a good thing I'm prolific because I am in demand. Nobody gets tired of cocaine.
We'll just run one of the 30 games that you created for the podcast.
The thing is, when I run for the podcast, those are like episodes of Star Trek. I'm expecting you guys to just Shatner it up and chew the scenery and spend an hour naming a donkey. They literally had a donkey cart that they spent an hour trying to name the donkey.
Oh God, it's so
and then
good.
said we should leave this donkey cart here because we're going to go on the ocean and get another donkey cart there, and then rent this donkey cart out in this city.
Oh my God!
Literally, I have to let them do that because that's fun. But those games they'll be train wrecks if I try and squeeze them into 4 hours.
Right.
That's fair.
A con is a whole nother. A con round is a whole nother animal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if we're too late into the process for this to be a legit question, just stop me. But how do you go about cranking out 3 new scenarios for a con? Like, how does that process work?
Well, I've got a whole panel on this actually called "Maintaining Motivation in Writing." It takes commitment. It's not. Writing is not fun. It is not pretty. It is not glamorous. It is a slog. For me, it is getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning in the dead, pre-dawn when the world is asleep, and I am at my keyboard, with Calliope's caress on the back of my neck, channeling whatever she wants me to do. I am at her service. For me, it's almost monastic. It's what I do. It's what I love to do. It's what I'm most happy doing. But talking to other writers, you start to quickly realize that every single writer does it completely different than every other single writer. Like, you can go to voice training and learn how to sing. If you get 12 writers in a room, none of them do it the same way. So it's not, it's something. I mean, I'm sure that there are lots of great college courses on writing, but every writer learns to write in their own way, in their own rhythm, when they're most creative. So how do I do it? It's tough. You've got to know how long it's going to take you to write a scenario. When are you most productive? When do you have the time to do it? Like, what's the logistics of this look like? And sometimes that means I've got to get up at least 3 mornings before work, and definitely Saturday. And you give up time with friends and family, and it's tough, but it's what I do. Like my favorite line from Galaxy Quest: look, I've got one job on this ship. It's stupid, but I'm going to do it. I've pretty much got one thing I'm kind of good at, and I'm going to do it.
And do you aim for this? Is a scenario you write for a con at the same level of polish, I guess I'll say, as... Okay.
No. A scenario I write for a con is like a half-hour episode of Twilight Zone. Something I'm doing for open play is a season. Like, John, you've played one of my one-shots. You've also played
one shot.
No, at the con we finished. In
Oh
one
yeah,
game,
all right, fair.
right?
Yep.
And you've played another game that we just finished that was literally 12 sessions.
Yeah, one long scenario, mini campaign. If
It
you
was
will.
literally it literally could be broken up into 3 scenarios. That's like a trilogy. That one thing could have been a book.
Yeah.
And I still think I shit the bed on the ending. So whatever. It falls apart in part 3. We've got to work on it. But I mean, you answer the question. How do you think the level of polish is between a one shot and something bigger?
Oh, I don't know if I'm the right person to ask because
You're the perfect person. You're one of the only people who've played both.
well, but here's
I
the
can't
thing.
answer.
When we sit down to play anything as a one shot for the podcast, it's almost always 2 sessions because we're stupid. Like we just can't do it in 3 or 4 hours. Girl in the Pines was a very short scenario word count wise, right? It was only like 5,200 words.
Right.
And like we know we're in a time constraint. Like we RP'd some, but not to the level of like if we'd play Girl in the Pines for the podcast, it would have been 2 sessions minimum, if not longer,
Right.
probably. Right. So like again, I'm not really the right person to ask. I mean, I was not having done it, but having played games at cons, my feeling is that you get less role play at a con. You may get moments, but you don't get that consistent through line because you know you're on a time constraint, and we know we have to get X amount done in a certain period of time, right? Like it's just the mindset to play is different. The mindset, I'm assuming for you to write is different. Like, again, we need to complete this in an X amount of time, given player vagaries, right? Like you have to bake some of that in as far as like, well, they're supposed to go this way, but like it's going this way. And then like you throw it out the window and then just key on what the players are doing. And then it's just kind of free for them till you get to the end, right? Like it, for me, like that's all up in the air. Your GMing style, I think, was comparable in both, right? But again, it's like when we play at home, so to speak, and it's not even that we fuck around so much as that we really dig into the characters, right? So like that's because that's like the important part, right? Like that's the story doesn't resonate if you don't really care what's happening. So if you're not invested in the characters and the story, then there's no point in either one of those scenarios to even do it. You know what I mean? I didn't answer your question, I don't think.
A one shot is more focused on the experience. A regular adventure that I would write for a book or a campaign or a free play that I know is just going to go. That's more of a situation which the players are going through, and it becomes far more focused on how the players handle it than the event that's actually happening. A one-shot's narrative is based on momentum. A open form game, that narrative is based on the emotional connection of the players to the material and each other. Wow, we're like levels.
Yeah, thanks, Chris.
Oh, you know.
Again, tune in for my TED talk.
Right.
Well, no,
And he has a panel for that.
Because the only stuff I've really written for myself has been con oriented, and it's not been that much that I've done. So it's interesting to get the different perspective to say.
Yeah, I've written a few.
And by a few, he's talking about like what, 200, 300,
100,
hold on.
187, something crazy.
Hold on, wait a minute.
You told me the number. I just don't remember off the top of my head.
I'm gonna shock.
John, call it out. Call a number right now.
It's like 120 or 115 or something like that.
I'm gonna go 186.
Because he's written for I mean, not specifically like for us, but like in running games, he's written like, I don't know, six or seven just for the podcast.
We're gonna do this.
Oh,
Okay,
no.
so this is. Hold
Damn,
on.
John was closer.
Wait.
I
right,
can't
this is-
read. It's too small.
This is total. This is total, so it's 107.
Oh,
Girl in the
107,
Pines
okay.
is 107. To Put Away Childish Things is 105, which we just did.
There's a birthday scenario in there too.
What do you mean?
The one you wrote for me.
Which one was that?
The Peril in the Pennines.
Oh, yeah, hold on. It's up here somewhere. Wait. Oh, wait, that would be Invictus.
Yep. Shit, that's got to be.
That's 104.
Yeah.
See, I have it by like unpublished, published, Invictus, Classes 20, Modern, other eras.
Wow.
Yeah, this is my life, really. This is everything I've been doing for the last 20 years, pretty much.
Some
Sad.
real good stuff in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to get a life.
You have one. What are you talking about? You're in your lane.
Yeah, it's
Enjoy your
107. What was funny is after I wrote my third one, I was like worried that, oh my God, am I ever going to have any other ideas? And yeah, that's happened not to be the case. Much like the players, nobody gets tired of cocaine, and I love writing scenarios.
Well, we'll keep playing them. For sure. All right. Do we want to wrap it up? Are we good?
I think we're good.
Yeah, I think we've beat it to death. And then
All right.
resurrected it and then beat it some more. And then actually start anticipating future content too. So, oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think we stuck the landing a few times. Yeah.
All right,
Somebody
so-
mention something and I'll ask another heavy question. Let's go.
All right, so keeping it down to a few bullet points. Let's go around.
Okay.
John, sell Necronomicon 2024 to someone who's on the fence.
It's like a family reunion with the people that you really want to hang out with, and not the weird uncle who just wears the red hat, right? Like, I mean, it's the whole con. The con is the people. I mean, that's it. It's the only thing we come back to every time. Like, every conversation, like, oh, this is so great that we get the people.
If you are afraid of how you will feel at a con, how you look at Comic Con, you look at Gen Con, you look at Dragon Con, and it freaks you out. Necronomicon is not that. It's smaller, it's cozier, it is not intimidating. I listened to podcasts talk about it before, and I was like, that sounds neat, but I don't think I can do that.
Mm-hmm.
I listened to chatter about it in 2019. It's like, well, maybe I can do that. I went, I did it, and I'm so glad I did.
Bridget?
I would say if you're on the fence about Necronomicon, it's one of those things that you have to try at least once. If you stick your toe in it, you're probably going to do the full leap and be one of us that's going to be reoccurring like I'm going to be. Two big things that stand out to me about Necronomicon that I would recommend to anybody. If you're into Lovecraft, period, these are your people. Like, you're not going to be able to turn around and not bump into somebody that shares the same core passion with you, even though they may express it or identify with it or instruct on it or create with it in different ways. And for that type of broadening of your palette, you're diversifying your Lovecraftian portfolio. It's really cool. The other thing that I think is really major, because this con is so intimate and everyone is so incredibly friendly. One, you can go by yourself. This isn't a con where you have to have a friend with you, where you need to wrangle people and go. You would be 100% okay. Providence is a cute little safe, and I'm saying safe in air quotations because legally I can't say that. I felt safe in Providence as a single Black woman walking around. And the other thing I think is really cool is, like, how many more opportunities are you going to have to just be in a bar and then sit down next to Mike Mason? and pitch him one of your ideas, or turn around and go get donuts at this little cafe up the street and be in line between Lynn Hardy and go, oh my God, I love Children of Fear, and her turn around and have this whole conversation with you. How often are you going to be in an environment where you can be in the Poindexter Cafe and see Oscar Rios and sit down like, oh my God, absolutely loved X, Y, and Z and all 104 of your scenarios and all 30 of the games you ran and all 900 panels that you were on, and have him be like, yeah, have a seat, let's talk about it. It's those type of connections that are really important in an industry of ours that's as intimate and intertwined as it is. Getting that FaceTime with some of these people that operate professionally at that caliber is just something you're not going to get at Origins. It's something you're not going to see at Gen Con, but like these little Chaosium Con has the same feel because it's a very proprietary focused con. It's all Chaosium things. This is like that, except for it's like Lovecraft. So go. Even if you have to go by yourself, and even if you only go once, go. It's worth it. I promise.
For me,
before you do yours, just if I hate to interrupt you for just 1 second.
Your show.
Well, no, I mean whatever. But I wanted to bump up on Bridget's thing, and it's not that necessarily the con has moved past Lovecraft in a lot of ways. So it's, if you're into Lovecraft, sure. If you're into weird fiction, if you're into cosmic horror, if you're into that, existentialism, then this is the thing for you. Lovecraft is still a part of it, but it is very much moved on past him at this point. And I just wanted to say that, right? Because
no, you're good.
Right? Because he was kind of a piece of shit. So like
he is. But the world he created is what we're all monetizing and talking about right now.
Yeah. And it was other people that did it too, right? I mean, he's not the only guy.
And I had a conversation with a complete stranger who wasn't there for the con at the bar in the Graduate. Yeah, that's what it's called now. It says Biltmore on the building, but
it does still say Biltmore on the building.
It's a big fucking sign.
But and that was, I used Oscar's work as an example of the community, say, moving on and reclaiming the concepts from him.
I just want to make sure that was out there. Go ahead, Oscar.
Right.
Tell us, Oscar. Tell us.
For me, if you're thinking about it, if you love this and you're unsure, come and meet your people. Come and join your community, because sure, there still may be problems. But you can be part of the solution, or you can complain about the problem. If you don't think that there are enough LGBT representation, then you show up at Necronomicon in your rainbow Cthulhu cephalopod shirt and meet your tribe, because you're out there and you're gonna, if you're a person of color and you're nervous that, am I going to be okay? You're gonna go there and you're gonna find your people, and you're gonna find your people who don't care what you are. They're just happy that you're interested, they're interested, and it's the fellowship there. You're going to be able to support small publishers. You're going to be able to support small artists. You're going to be able to support independent filmmakers, new authors. You're going to get to rub shoulders with industry giants, and you're going to meet new talent. You're going to network with people. If you're, if you're trying to get in, go meet some publishers. Go meet some filmmakers. This is who we are. And you're part of it. But come be a part of it face to face. Because everyone is friendly, everyone is welcoming, and the community is richer for every new diverse person we get into it. So come join us and make Necronomicon even better than it's been.
100%. I'll never forget. It must have been 19. We were sitting in the Graduate coffee shop, full of people. Everybody's in there. Industry folks, other Discord folks, the whole 9 yards. And Oscar came in and made a beeline to me and said, hey, give me a hug. Oh, it's great to see you. Got to come over, meet Mitzi, blah, 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 whatever. Whole room full of people. Like, fuck, right? Like, like this is the coolest thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like one of my favorite stories is I'm walking with my wife, and somebody on the street goes, Mitzi, hi, we're going to see you at the room party later. We're really excited about that. And she's like, okay. And she looks at me and says, who the fuck is that? And I go, I have no idea. I said, we announced on the Facebook page that we're having a room party. I don't know who's coming. And she was like, how the fuck do they know who I am? I'm like, you're on my Facebook page. A lot of them follow me on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like at that moment, it clicked that, wow, we're really, we're kind of in, I don't want to pat, we're known, we're
You're celebrities. Come on, Oscar.
Yeah,
Let's not do this.
yeah. But it was like, she was like, who the fuck is that? And why do they
happening?
One, they know my face and my name, and they're coming to our room party,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't even know who the fuck they are. Like,
we got kicked out of that too.
and security came and broke up our room party.
Ah, God, Jesus.
And I was drunkenly joking, oh, it's not going to be a real party until security comes and breaks us up. 20 minutes later, fucking
And here comes fucking
should have
security.
kept my mouth shut. But that's
That
what
was
I mean about the community.
Yeah.
And this year it was the cheese party. For those that know.
I must have been working while that happened.
Well, yeah, you were on 18 panels and 64
Yeah.
games. The number keeps changing each round. I absolutely love it.
Shit. All right, well, let's go out with a round of self-promotion here. Chris, you have anything that you would like to promote? Places you're at, stuff that you're doing, things that are happening?
The biggest thing that I work on is the good friends of Jackson Elias, their semi-annual, I don't remember, twice a year con, a weekend with good friends. Our next one is November, across the weekend in North America, where we stop daylight savings time. So yeah, time zones are always an adventure. Anyway, we decided to double down apparently. So yeah, come. Feel free to sign up for games, run games. We use, because we have such a large international base of users, we don't do first come first serve when it comes to signups. We use a lottery system to assign seats, so everybody has an equal chance at getting in any given game. You have just as much chance as somebody who is in the UK when we open signups, usually, versus somebody in California, Hawaii, New Zealand. You all have an equal chance of getting games, and we work really hard to make sure everybody gets a chance.
It's an incredible con, and it's well organized, it's well moderated. It really is an incredible convention.
Cool. All right, Bridget.
Hi, yeah. So signing off, my name is Bridget Jeffries of Symphony Entertainment. You can check us out at symphonyentertainment.com. If you would like to watch us on Twitch, we just launched a streaming channel that is at twitch.tv/Symphony Entertainment. We are running my newest release, which is shown here, which is the Miskatonic Shoreside Conservatory. This bad boy is now out in PDF, print, and soft cover on Drive-Thru RPG, and Indie Press Revolution is picking it up. I just need to send them copies. Let's see here. If you want to hear me ramble about weird and horrific role-playing games, I'm a co-host on the Miskatonic University podcast. You can check that out at mu-podcast.com. And last but not least, I am a community ambassador for Chaosium. Remember the whole multi-hat thing that I was talking? There's so much fucking going on. I'm a community ambassador for Chaosium. So if you are looking to self-publish your 7th edition Call of Cthulhu playable content, please holler at your girl, because I can help you out everything from resources, tools, compliance guidelines, all of that fun stuff to take you from, I have this really cool idea for playable content, to I'm actually monetizing on Drive-Thru RPG, and I'm running through tiers, and I'm a copper bestseller, silver, or just I'm actually published on the Miskatonic repository. So if you have any questions about that, you can email me at Bridget@chaosium.com. That's Bridget, you walk across with 2 T's, at chaosium.com. Last plug, Miskatonic Repository Con is happening. This is an online gaming convention dedicated to creators on the Miskatonic Repository. That is going to be happening October 14th through the 16th online near you. You can check that out on the Facebook page or email me and I'll get you plugged into the tabletop events link.
Sweet. Whew. And Oscar?
Yeah, I got nothing.
Yeah.
We are busily mailing our Terrors of Octobernomicon book.
Woo woo! It's here,
gonna-
it's here, it's here.
There's a lot of cosmic horror in this. So if you don't have your copy, you will soon. If you're in the UK, I don't know when it's getting to you. It's the mail's problem. I'm just going to be mailing it. All the international fans will be mad at me, but I mean, it's not my fault. International mail is expensive. It takes a long time. We're going to get the mailing done as quickly as we can. I do have a full-time job. Have some mercy on me. We've got another Kickstarter coming in March for the revamped new version of the Legacy of Arius Lurko. Britannia and Beyond is at the in layout. So hopefully we'll be moving swiftly towards getting that book into people's hands. And Golden Goblin Press will be attending Rising Phoenix Con in, I believe, April. That's going to be right outside of Boston in Monton. We're hopefully going to be coming with more than just me running games. We're hoping to field a little team and possibly even do some special events and panels. So we were guests at the first Rising Phoenix, very well run con. We're looking forward to it. It's probably going to be how we start our con year every year now. That'll be our first spring con of the year. So definitely check it out. They're already selling badges.
Nice.
So shout out to my Rising Phoenix crew.
Sweet.
And of course, we'll be running games for Legends of Tabletop as both as a player and a GM, and hopefully be finishing up our Britannia and Beyond campaign in the next few weeks or months.
John.
We're waiting for Niels to recover and get some sleep. I think he's probably like a bear right now. He's just hibernating for the next 2 months before he reemerges and engages with the world.
Right.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll get that going. We'll finish that up. Core Cthulhu is almost finished. We have a second edition coming out for that. Jesse redid all of the art.
Nice.
I brushed it up a little bit, polished it some. I'm already thinking about a third, but that's way down the road. I mean, that's it. If you listen, we have Patreon up. People want to support that. As I always say, if you enjoy these things and you enjoy our guests and creators, support them first, because we're going to just do this anyway. So it's whatever. So go do all of the other things. And thanks for checking it out. And we'll catch you next time.
Mwah. Have a good night, guys.
Have a good one.
Later.